Part 1. You ever get that smell? The one that takes you back to a house you thought you'd forgotten? The kind of smell that makes your skin prickle and your mind spin with questions you don't want answered? Tonight's story begins with that smell. Stay with me, because what starts as a small memory becomes something that won't let a family sleep. And by the end, you'll understand why some doors should never be opened again. My name is not important. I can only tell you what I remember. It was late autumn when my sister called, voice shaking, saying our mother had gone quiet. Not the quiet of sleep, but the heavy, waiting kind. She lived alone at the old house on Hollow Lane. The town had long whispered about that place, but we always told ourselves those were just stories. That night I drove there. The house looked smaller in person, like someone shrank it and left the paint to peel on purpose. Inside, the air had weight. Family photos stared from the wall, but the faces seemed muted. My sister led me to Mom's living room. The lamp was on, low and warm, but Mom wasn't on the couch where she always read. Instead, the television flickered on a paused black and white show. A small, cracked teacup sat on the table, steam long gone. We called her name. At first, a sound like someone shifting in an old chair, not her voice. Then a whisper from the hallway, "Don't wake her." We froze. My sister swore she saw Mom's bedroom door slightly open, but the hallway felt wrong, like the floor had been replaced by someone else's memory. When we pushed the door, the room was colder than the rest of the house, and the wall behind the bed had scratch marks, tiny, deliberate lines arranged in a pattern. On the bedside table was a thin note, folded twice. My sister unfolded it with trembling fingers. It read, in her mother's handwriting, Asterisk, I am keeping her safe. Don't look for her in the open places. Asterisk, we laughed at that at first. It was a joke, we told ourselves. Maybe Mom was writing nonsense again. But the handwriting trailed into something else on the back, a name we didn't recognize, and beneath it, two words, not mother. A sound came from the attic, then, like someone walking on a roof of glass. We went up, careful, foot by foot. In the attic, a small wooden cradle rocked under a single beam of moonlight. Inside, a small cloth doll lay on its side, button eyes dull. There was a lullaby hummed under breath, but no one was there to hum it. The air smelled faintly of the same strange perfume I had noticed on my drive-in, old, floral, and oddly sweet. We found a family photo album shoved into a trunk. When my sister opened it, one page was missing. Not ripped out, but removed so cleanly it left a shadow behind, like a silhouette. Under the empty space, in pencil, someone had written a list of dates, birthdays and anniversaries, and one final entry, the most recent date, with a tiny sketch of a door. We decided to stay until morning. My sister sat in the armchair. I kept watch by the door. Every creak sounded like a footstep. At 2:17 a.m., the house breathed differently. The smoke alarm chimed once, then fell silent. The lamp in the hallway dimmed, as if someone exhaled nearby. Softly, a voice said, "She's hungry for remembering." No one moved. The voice had my mother's cadence, but the vowels were wrong, stretched thin. Something pulled at the bedroom door. Not enough to open it, just enough to make the latch click. On the other side, we could hear a slow, wet scraping, like nails being dragged across plaster. My sister whispered, "Open it." I wanted to, but the house seemed to be holding its breath. Finally, I pushed. The room was empty, but the window was wide open and a small trail of dirt led from the sill into the closet. Inside the closet, we found a small wooden box. When we opened it, there was a folded hospital bracelet, one we'd seen on Mom when she had Ruby, our baby sister, decades ago. Beneath it, a smear of red that had the sheen of dried lacquer, not blood. A lullaby hummed again, Not from a person, but from the wood itself, like the box remembered the sound of hands. Written on the inside, lit in pencil. She said she'd come back when the house forgot her name. We called Mom's name until the sound of our own voices hit the roof and came back as a hollow echo. Then, in the hallway, a silhouette passed, tall, elongated, with the same slow steps as a person who has forgotten how to be steady. It paused at the family portrait. The silhouette turned its head in our direction. Where its face should have been, the wall behind it looked stretched, like paint pulled over a nail. A voice, my mother's voice, softer, said, "She belongs where she is safe." The silhouette vanished as the clock struck 3. We left then, but not before my sister took the box and placed it in her car. Later, we learned the missing page from the album, the one removed from the trunk, matched the date on the bracelet. Ruby had vanished as a child. The town said she ran away. My mother wrote letters that no one ever received. The house had kept a memory and then started to care for it, in the only way it knew how. It hid what it thought might hurt people. It hid Ruby behind walls of forgetting. A week later, my sister uploaded the small wooden box's lullaby to the web, just to see if anyone recognized the tune. People said it sounded like a music box from a room they had never entered. The comments linked to that same animation. Mother, animated horror stories. And someone wrote, asterisk, this looks like Hollow Lane. Asterisk. We never asked why the house did what it did. Maybe some things protect in twisted ways. Maybe forgetting can become a shelter that traps. If this story chilled you, do one small thing to help us tell more like it. Like the video and subscribe to our channel.